My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Blue Beetle. And this will probably surprise you, but I actually love this character. There's a TV show called Young Justice, and in season 2, Blue Beetle gets introduced. And I thought the entire idea of this guy who has this super powerful alien scarab attached to him, but he can't fully control it, was just fascinating. Season 2 of that show was great because of the complexities of this character. And I even picked up some graphic novels, and I just thought Blue Beetle was like, there's one moment where his best friend needs to be saved, so he catches him in the air, but then the scarab takes over and stabs him. And Jaime's just like, no, I didn't want to do that. I'm trying to save you. And it's so brilliant and it's so loud. And I've been a fan of this character ever since. And I've always wanted a movie. But then I saw the trailers. And it looked like they were taking what could have been a very dark and interesting character and just turning him into a generic Iron Man-like superhero that seemed very family friendly. So all my excitement for this movie died, and after watching it, this movie is just completely forgettable in every sense, and it really ticks me off that they wasted a character this cool. I will give the movie this though. The suit actually looks amazing. Really well done in that department. But you know what? Let's just get into, the whole scarab and everything, because it's not really present in this movie. I mean, Jaime's got it attached to his spine, but he only turns into Blue Beetle for 3 scenes, and 3 scenes? 4 scenes? Either way, it's for a very short time, and there's no internal conflict between Jaime and the scarab almost at all. And their entire relationship just feels non-existent. The scarab feels more like Jarvis than anything else, and whatever, it is what it is. Okay, I'm going to try to pronounce his name, but Zola Milduna, I thought was really flat. He did absolutely nothing for me here. He didn't have any bit of energy. He didn't give this character any weight. I thought it was a very nothing performance. Bruna Marquezine, I didn't really like at all either, and their entire romance felt so forced to me. George Lopez is the one performance that I'm like, okay, he did good. He's not given the best material to work with, but he definitely has stronger comedic timing than everyone else. Then you've got Belisa Escobedo, and I guess she's fine. Dunnet-Alcocer, very forgettable. This movie tries to be about family, but it never feels authentic. It feels like it's trying so hard the entire time. You watch a movie like Avatar 2, which I will reference again in this review, but Loak and Tuk and Kiri and Neteam and Jake and Netiri, it feels so natural, it feels organic. And I just didn't get that here. Then you've got Susan Sarandon, who I thought was a terrible villain. Nothing about her worked for me. You do got this henchman villain, and he's as generic as they come for 99% of this movie, but right at the end, they actually give him some depth, and I'm like, why are you doing this now? I don't know, just baffling to me. And this movie's directed by Angel Manuel Sutu, who directed this little movie called Charm City Kings a few years back, and I actually thought that was a pretty good movie, but not everyone needs to be a big budget director, and I thought this movie was just lacking in that department. Visually, it's just pretty bland. There's no unique villain on display. There's nothing of real substance here. There's no real personality or energy. It's never emotional. It's never funny. Like, it's just a very nothing movie. Just everything absolutely flat. And because we've seen so many superhero movies, there's also just nothing new or fresh about it. Like I said, Blue Beetle just feels like discount Iron Man. And there's one scene, and I know the movie has been in production for a long time. I know it wasn't shot in the past 2 months. But there is one scene that is like spot on taken like from Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And I know it's coincidence, but I'm just like, okay, they're clearly just running out of ideas here. Like this, I couldn't believe how similar these two scenes were. And like whenever the movie tries to be emotional, it just fell flat. Okay, look, I'm going to not get into slight spoiler warning, but somebody, I won't say who, dies. And my reaction is just like, you picked someone who I couldn't care less about. You didn't even take any time to build that relationship in this movie, and that's who you decide? And then it's like the movie pauses because they have to do other stuff, and then they just resume crying at the end of the movie. And okay, like, look, I just think that's such lazy writing. You take a movie like Avatar 2. Spoiler alert for that movie, but Netaim dies. And the rest of the movie is driven by that. You feel the desperation, the pain in Neytiri, in Jake. And like, they take the time to mourn their son after the big final battle, but you still feel the weight throughout. And I feel like that's something not enough movies are doing. People die all the time in movies, but they don't know how to carry that weight. Favorite story ever, Last of Us 2. Something happens early on, the game maintains that emotional weight throughout. Same as Arcane. Something happens in episode 3, the story maintains that emotional weight throughout. And I just feel like now, people dying in movies like this just feel like a cheap ploy at your emotions. It just doesn't feel earned. Also, the last act of this movie is like way too long. Like, this movie could have been a half-hour shorter. It's got terrible pacing. But there's also another element of this movie I want to talk about, which is, okay, look, Batman doesn't kill, Spider-Man doesn't kill. It's a big part of so many superheroes. But never in my life have I been so pissed off at a hero not willing to kill. There are scenes where it's pretty much kill or be killed, and he just won't. And at no point does he get his worldview challenged. At no point are we to understand why he feels like he shouldn't kill anyone. He's just got this stance for whatever reason, and he won't go there. And it was just frustrating at a certain point. But anyways, this movie I thought was absolutely terrible. I know everyone else seems to be praising it. For the life of me, I don't know why. This is as forgettable and as generic as superhero movies come. It got nothing memorable about it. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and forget everything about it, besides how cool the suit looked. None of these characters are new favorites. None of the action is good. The movie just did nothing for me, except give us a really cool badass suit. So if you want to watch a movie with this premise, watch Upgrade, directed by Lee Winnell. That is a much better movie and just takes this premise and actually utilizes it. So that's my recommendation. Blue Beetle, on the other hand, gets a 2.5 out of 10. Okay, so I don't know what my review schedule is going to be like for next weekend because I already saw Gran Turismo and Retribution might not be coming to my city. I think The Dive is available online, so I might do that one. There was one movie called like the Landscape of an Invisible Hand, which is directed by the guy who did Thoroughbreds. And I won't get to it this weekend, but I might seek it out and watch it next weekend. But we're on a bit of a movie drought for a little bit. But Blue Beetle, did you see it? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin, out.